you're sorry instead. You just say it's my mistake. Are you waging up a war for the sake of something to say when I'm not to play? And I what you gotta say about me, I don't know you very well. You're acting like someone else. And I what you gotta say about us, when you see this all leads to games, you should start someone else. And I what you gotta say about us, when you see this all leads to games, you should start just to make.
Wish I could say sorry, but I don't have much to say. You won't believe me anyway. I got a thing for causing arguments, but in my defense, I'm scared to walk away. And what I'm trying to say about me, I don't know me very well. If I'm acting like someone else. And what you got to say about us, don't you see that I'm here? But if I'm acting like someone else. And what you got to say about us, don't you see that I'm here to say you should start trusting me. Wish I could say sorry, but I don't have much to say. You won't believe me anyway. I got a thing for causing arguments, but in my defense, I'm scared to walk away. And what I'm trying to say about me, I don't know me very well. If I'm acting like someone else. And what you got to say about us, don't you see that I'm here? But if I'm acting like someone else. And what you got to say about us, don't you see that I'm here to say you should start trusting me.
I can feel your blue. What's on your mind is so see-through. Should I stay or let me know? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's up to you, you're in control. Oh yeah, got a couple friends around. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's play a wild game. Let's play a wild game. Got a couple friends around. Let's play it my way. Let's play it my way. Do-do-do-do-do. Heartbeats racing, got a little nasty. I think I like how you taste. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I like how you taste. Oh yeah, got a couple friends around. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's play a wild game. Let's play a wild game. Got a couple friends around. Wow. Let's play it my way. Let's play it my way. Got a couple friends around. Let's play a wild game. Let's play a wild game. Got a couple friends around. Let's play it my way. Let's play a wild game. Do-do-do-do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Well,
we are set to go here.
Welcome back. Major League Jumping moves up to 5-star level, and it is the champions $1,000 142 phase. So first spin around for the 5-star horses here this week as part of our 2-phase competition that starts off a day of big competitions. Later on, we go into the $75,000 5-star jump-off class as well. And looking forward to how all this plays out over Oscar Sobron's course. And delighted to say Nancy Wetmore is alongside me. Nancy, usually resident here, she's kindly let me move into the booth for the 2 weeks of the 2 big 5-stars we've got coming up here. And looking forward to an exciting time. Nancy, delighted to have you back alongside. 23 to see in this. And got a pretty fast combination to start us off with Ashley Bond representing Israel. She's from California, from Hidden Hills. And it is Hilva Moverman and the Stefex Stables Lazy. Anything but this horse by Hickstead.
I was going to say anybody that saw her first round in Tokyo, this horse better not be lazy. I mean, this girl knows how to lay it down.
Absolutely. Just returned, as you say, from Tokyo. Don't tell on that occasion. This horse I've seen fly around down in Wellington earlier on this season, and in Trine went very well indeed. And there we see Ashley Bond as our first to be our trailblazer. 2-phase competition. Standard 2-phase for those that are following the sport. So if you're not clear after the first round, the bell will go from our judges and out you go. Otherwise, you carry straight on to the second phase. But Nancy, we've moved up the fences and already we've moved up the pace with this. It's another one that moves quickly, but I'm going to see what she
like
does.
his father, he does. And I was interested. She added a stride down that first line. I had walked 7. She chose the 8, jumped it cleanly. Let's see what everybody else does. Wide enough oxer here off the end gate and handled beautifully.
Just this fence, and then we go for the changeover into the second phase. I think she's going to... I think she's giving the horse a pat and calling it a day there.
Yeah, she is. Yep.
A few will do that. That's not unexpected in this class. It is their pipe opener for the week for the 5-star riders. So let's go to Nicolette Hertz of Alamo, California. The US rider with the Iron Horse Equestrians Chatu 7 by Chaco Blue. And the gelding for Nicolette Hertz, who also competed in the 5-star classes when down in Traverse City at the 2 shows there for Major League Show Jumping as those first 2 stops. In fact, she finished 7th in the opening 5-star Grand Prix there as well.
I'm interested with the Chaco Blues because he's such a popular sire. And it's incredible to me how different so many of the Chaco Blues are. So I think it lends itself to the mares pretty important too. However, if he stamps his jump, I think he's almost leading sire, is he not?
It certainly has been, and I think he's only just been toppled in about the last week.
Yep.
I was reading earlier on this week. So Nicolette Hertz, also part of the team's Major League Jumping team competition tomorrow.
And a big jump he has.
Yeah. You obviously watched a few Chaco Blues. What I mean, woof.
Little peek down at the path board at the bottom there, but jumped it cleanly. That's what the course designer does, a little trick like that to just put something to draw the horse's eye down and then their front legs go down.
Well, going through to that second phase there for Nicolette Hertz and Chatu 7. And into this maple leaf double. Got our eye on the turn back here again. Those watching our previous class would have seen a similar turn here, and they can go inside that Major League pillar or back, maybe even a very tight turn past the McLaren, but I think most will also go on the outside turn and just keep moving around there.
Yeah, and again, when we walked the course, this jump was in the the other class, and it's just a very odd placing.
Well, they're just finishing on 40.96, going clear there for Nicolette Hertz and Chatu 7, the second of our combinations here this afternoon. And with Ashley Bond deciding to retire, that automatically puts them into the lead. Molly Ash-Cawley, the US rider from the Lewisburg farm of Boston, Massachusetts. This is Birdian, the Zangazida bred mare by Bastique for Molly. Multiple Grand Prix winner, Nations Cup rider for the US as well. Cool, relaxed afternoon for her as well in this opening $1,000 140 equine choice class.
She was in the ring earlier with a course that actually ended up being almost the reverse direction, the same sort of jumps, but the reverse direction.
Horse that also has got the capability to be a very fast combination. We'll have an eye on the team. She's part of the Crusaders team.
Oh, a little bit of indecision coming out of the turn. She made it work, but it was a bit heart-stopping there for a moment.
Molly into the rhythm now for this one. May just be 60 seconds time allowed in the first phase. May just come close to that. See what she's going to do. I think she'll be all right.
I think she'll be fine.
I think she's going to say stop anyway.
I think she is.
Yeah. So Molly Ash-Cawley there decides to call it a day after phase one with Birdie. The good thing is it always gives us a little chance to see the combinations we're going to see.
Oh, it sure does. And remember, too, we're going to face a class at night, and that can sometimes impact the way the horses jump.
Yeah, certainly can. And just going to solve a little technical issue. And Molly Ash-Cawley there electing not to go into that jump off. So Nicolette Hurt leads the way so far, clear in 40.96. And we'll take us on to Catherine Tyree now, hailing from Chicago, Illinois, and Cat Tyree with her own Newton Van Het Kugelhoff. And for her, the Chestnut Gelding by de Montesimi.
I think, Stephen, too, today we're seeing a who's who in breeding. My goodness, when you list off the sires and the mares, it's just so much fun to see the type that comes in the ring. Wow, look at that big jump.
Which are the ones that grab you, making a few personal preferences?
Well, of course, I like the Choco Blues. I mean, he wasn't the leading sire for no reason. They just seem to be reasonably well-mannered. They're big, strong, scopy horses. They look like they're going to last a few years, which I think is all important.
Well, Cat on this former ride of Daniel Deusser, the current world #1, being with her through this year. Came through with the young horses with Daniel. Of course, one that's come through the Stefex stables there. Now, Catherine,
quite a rub on fence number 8, the Liverpool.
Now she's going to have a run at the jump-off stage.
We saw an inside turn there earlier. We'll see if somebody uses that later on in the class to nip some seconds off. Wow, she's on a gallop.
Yeah, very good for an 8-year-old combination together as well.
Way back from that vertical and jumps it beautifully.
Nicely done, 31.85. Leading the pack so far is Cat Tyree and Newton Van Het Kugelhoff. It's the same Euro ride for her into the international classes, and doing very nicely indeed. 8-year-old combination to look on for the future for Cat Tyree. Lacey Gilbertson now from Lake Forest, Illinois, and it is going to be the Sweet Oak Farms Byzance Male, the Saint Francais mare by Iowa. Part of the Lucky Charms team for the Major League Jumping. Grand Prix winner in Tryon, and very good run as usual down in Wellington, Florida previously.
I'm always interested in seeing the shapes and sizes of the horses that can jump these massive fences.
Yeah.
The last few horses, the one we just saw, looked like he was over 17 hands, big and strong and long, and you think, oh, it's no problem. But this little one comes in. But look at the height that gets over the jumps. It's like it's on springs.
Yeah.
It's always so much fun to see the different types. It just bounces up in the air.
Some lovely combinations on display so far here this afternoon.
Just dwells a little tiny bit up in the air over top of the oxers.
Now we'll see whether they're going to go on to the jump off, and just holding for that last fence. I think she's going to pull up.
I think she is.
Yeah, deciding to pull up there, Lacey Gilbertson and Byzance Male. But as you say, contrasting types there with Newton for Cat Tyree and Byzance Male for Lacey Gilbertson. But either way, you get the job done.
You sure do, and we spoke earlier about, you know, I think sometimes trainers and owners get stuck on the horse has to jump in the correct form or a technical form, but there are some horses that just have their own way of doing things, and I think you have to just let them do it.
And you would probably, you know, moved away from some of the greats of the sport.
Well, exactly, exactly.
Shane Sweetnam, Shane with Birdie de Tho, and the 10-year-old Saint Francais mare by Magic Dell, owned by Shane and Verquest LLC. And so horses moved up a gear a little bit more this season, finished well in Traverse City back in July in the 5 stars there, top 3 there, and also a couple of top five finish in the 2-star Grand Prix there as well in mid-July.
And finishing our thought, just look how correct this horse is.
Yeah.
I mean, he could win a Hunter Classic. His knees are up, they're even, hind end up. Perfect form.
Are you going to be giving marks through? Should we?
Yeah, I'm mentally giving marks on their form. I am. Thinking, well, if this one doesn't cut it in the meter 40, meter 50, we'll have it in the derbies.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to worry about this one being a derby horse, though, Stephen.
I don't. Yeah. Originally came from Great Britain with Elizabeth Baker.
Yeah, and I think Shane's going to pat him on the neck.
Yeah. Yeah, combination before that in Ireland, produced through there with Shane O'Reilly, and one we're seeing a little bit more of this season, but deciding to retire after phase 1 there for Shane Sweetnam and Birdie de Tho, the 10-year-old Saint Francais. Catherine Tyree leading those completed so far. I say, not surprising to see a few just jump the first phase and then set themselves up for the week. We will go on to, I think it should be Amy Miller. Yes, it is, because Shane's heading on there. Amy Miller comes into view. And Cristiano, the gelding by Canoso for the future adventures for the Canadian from Perth, Ontario. I'm sure she's delighted to be competing back on home soil again as well.
Oh, she sure is, and what a rider this gal is.
Yeah.
I mean, she's absolutely second to none in my books. And she's just so clever, and she has Ian, of course, behind her, and she's just a top class rider. And this is an interesting horse that Ian actually showed previously, and has handed the reins over to Amy.
Yeah, actually one was very successful in the classes for the teams competing for the Eye Candy team. Of course, the winning team for the Eye Candy Jumpers back in July for part of the Major League.
I think won a Grand Prix in Ottawa a few months ago, earlier in the summer.
Yep. Went very well throughout the season. Yes, was also winning in a class in the Nations Cup in Wellington in Florida.
Amy just has a lovely soft way with a horse, and they seem to like her. Is a gal with 2 young children,
She's
as well as this. And she's going to make that inside turn.
There we go. A little bit of bob and weave.
Yeah, I'm not sure that exactly went to plan. I think you almost have to angle B of the double here to get that turn properly, and that's always a risk.
Last fence cleared, takes her home in a good time as well, 38.99. She'll go into second place so far for Amy Miller, and Cristiano, as she just goes into second behind Catherine Tyree. She was somewhat quicker at 31.85. Yeah, I mean that turn with the pillar, I'm almost sort of favouring the going on the outside, but trying to cut the angle at the vertical more. Yeah.
I'm with you, and just maybe skin around that major league decoration there, and as you say, jump a little bit left to right, but then that lends itself to a rail behind, so darned if you do and darned if you don't.
Well, a lady that can handle it is Kristen van der Veen. I'll be interested to see what she does. She's won more classes than I can count. And so this is Bull Run's Risen, the gelding by Utopia for the Bull Run jumpers of Wellington, Florida now. Kristen van der Veen of the USA. And I think we did some quick maths on her early this season. I'm trying to think what it was. She'd won over 20 international classes at Tryon alone, despite, and then add in all the other things that she's won.
I think, is that what you call consistent?
I think you could.
I think so.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, she sure has, and not just this year, in years prior. She's just been so consistent. She's got a great group of horses that suit her, and she's a fearless rider. She has a bit of a unique riding style to her, but it sure works.
Yeah.
I think she might just be on tour this afternoon, though.
Keeping the powder dry for later on in the week, we'll see. Just going for a quiet hack on the outside at the moment, but that's what she can do here.
She sure can. Sometimes the first experience when a horse comes into a new ring sets the tail for the week.
And they're here for 2 weeks as well, so exactly.
So they get frightened the first time, or something happens the first time, and they kind of carry that with them.
Nice quiet pop down to the final fence in the first phase. 73.01, so over that time anyway, regardless, with the 4 time faults there, but I don't think that was too much of a worry for them. Just nice little pop round for Kristen van der Veen, and Bull Run's Risen. And I think that's probably to make the rest of them nervous, because we're keeping the fuel down and ready for the rest of the week now.
Yeah, because they've been behind her on the podium so many times.
So on to Canada, Matt Cohn of King Ontario, the Chapman Holdings, and Southern Ways Conqueror for the gelding by Conthagus for the twice Olympian. Silver medalist, of course, in 2008.
Well, this is a newer horse to Mac, and a little bit of a different type of horse than you usually see him on. When he first came to Florida, I think in the last winter he had a tiny injury, and that held him up, and then of course COVID held him up a bit more. But now they're just really getting at it. Had a good result in a Grand Prix in Ottawa a few weeks ago, as well as several clear rounds. and top 10 finishes this summer.
Yeah, and exactly. I mean, in terms of international, the last time internationally the pair were out were Wellington in 2020, but they've been out in plenty since then, in different ways, as you say.
Exactly.
It's all been a bit mix and match.
I think it's difficult sometimes, too, though, that you don't get a horse into the swing of, working every week and doing his job every week. It's sometimes very difficult to stop and start them.
Yeah.
But Mac knows all the tricks, so he's in good hands. Another just massively scopy horse. He's had a few rideability problems that Mac really seems to have ironed out this summer.
Yeah.
Again, these partnerships have to get together and know each other, and they can do as much as they can at home, but they've got to get out and get into the ring and compete.
Matt going on to that second phase. He's gone for the long loop option. Keeps moving through there. Nicely done. Little cut inside the final pillar, just pops the last, and so home in 37.11. So we're going to second place for Matt Cohn and Conqueror.
Super.
Yeah, a nice one to set themselves up for the week, I think. Really.
Honestly, I think that's about the best that I've seen this combination go. I mean, they just were very consistent, and I think that's what Mac wanted to get out of today's class, and he sure achieved it. The horse was rub-free and rode beautifully.
So he drops into second place so far. Catherine Tyree leading on 31.85 at the moment. And staying with experience, and another rider who's taken home silver. This is for the US silver, though. And it is Peter Leone of Greenwich, Connecticut. Martin Huggins is Cedric 84, the chestnut gelding by Christian 25. And Cedric also been partnering alongside Donna, his leading horse at the moment, as competing as part of Major League Jumping. Competed with this horse back there in July, of course, and since then been placed up in Saugerties in the 4-star there.
And this is what's so much fun for me this week, to see somebody like Peter Leone, who I've seen come to Canada usually for the Royal Winter Fair for 20 or 30 years. And how long has the Leone name been in show jumping? They're just a mainstay. Peter, unfortunately, having the first jump down. His brother Mark was always a mainstay at the Royal Winter Fair.
Well, just that first fence, hopefully, just that final fence coming up. And there we go, just the one down. But otherwise, eased into the rest of the round easily enough.
And again, he may not have chosen to go on anyhow, but he did have a little rub on fence number 8, so he'll be doing some homework tomorrow morning. I'm sure he will.
Peter Leone heading on out. Catherine Tyree leading the way so far, 31.85. Matt Cohn, Amy Miller making up the top 3 so far in this opening 2 phase. $1,000 class, big money on to the table a little bit later on in our $75,000 5-star jump off coming up with you this evening. And we'll go on to Daniel Rihan now. And the rider for Mexico with John Perez and Daniel Rihan's Couleur van Birkenbroek for the young rider here on this 15-year-old by Couleur Rubin. Daniel, new face on the scene as part of the Mexican squad competing at these events, and also for him just 20 years of age, and also part of the young rider lineup last week as well.
Big jump over that oxer. Yes, I would think he would be one of our youngest team riders, would he not?
He would.
Stephen?
Yeah. I'm not going to say who the oldest is.
No, we won't bother with that.
Most experienced.
Of course, they just have to look at the example Ian Miller set at his age, competing in the Olympics and World Cup qualifiers, etc. He's ageless.
Well, John Whittaker last week, second in the
66,
London. 66.
I watched that round. I mean, he hasn't lost an inch, that boy. It was fantastic. And the crowd was just insane with excitement. We see him pulling up.
Yep, decided to call an early finish there for Daniel Riha and Kalle van Beckenbroek. So finishing on the clear through that first round. Nicolas Pizarro and Nick, we mentioned a little bit earlier on, Olympic rider for Mexico previously, and the Mexican rider with Disneyland. And this 10-year-old mare for Nick Pizarro. And looked very impressive earlier on this year, this horse. So looking forward to seeing this one again.
It always is interesting if you see one you like earlier in the year or some other time, and you follow them along, and you know, as some of them you say, boy, I was right, this one is great. And then there's the other ones didn't just quite measure up to what I thought it might. But fun watching.
If we were all right, we would all be millionaires.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, went very well down in Mexico and in last season as well there too. Then headed up to be placed up in the Grand Prix in Traverse City a few weeks ago.
At the moment, I can see what you saw. I mean, it's just absolutely effortless over these jumps. Just scope to burn. And again, very rideable, which I think is so important nowadays with the light material, the flatter cups, the difficult distances. They have to be rideable.
Yeah, delicacy is the order of the day for the modern course.
Show jumping has changed so much. You know, before with the big heavy poles, the horses had to be brave and jump huge jumps.
Well, decided to pull up after that first phase there for Nick Pizarro and Disneyland. I'm sure the arena crew are much happier these days with new material.
I think so too. They don't have to lift those poles.
Different horses, different time. So leading the way still, Catherine Tyree. Nick Pizarro deciding to pull up there with Disneyland. Another combination that can be very fast. See what they're going to do today. May well, again, keep the powder dry for later on in the week is Adrian Sternlings. And this is the Starlight Farms Lafayette Van Overis. Going by Kashmir Van Schuderhoff. Former rider Bertram Allen as well. Then came into the stable of the Starlight Farms.
Again, another smaller, tiny little horse, but has a great pop off the floor. Look at that. Kicks its back legs out. At a peak again down at that PAF banner. Good move by Adrian, just kicking her forward again, getting her in front of her leg again.
Nice quick pairing that can be very well placed. Have got a lot of single-digit numbers next to their placing so far this year. And going on to the second phase. Again, some will elect to do that second phase because, as you know more than anyone, you know you like horses that some horses want the full spin around.
Well, and I think we saw a couple of areas where the horse just got a little bit back behind her leg, so she's doing a bit of homework as well. Sure not behind her leg now. Looks super.
Cruising down to the last fence, will probably drop into second place with that, and 36.40. Adrian Sterling going into second with Lafayette Van Overis. $1,000 on the table. They're not going to be going full flight, but it is going to be a nice one to get them going there for Adrian. And as you say, just sets them nicely up for the weekend. A little bit more, a few more fences in to just get them in the right spot.
And nothing like a little prize money to put against the feed bill. Never hurts.
Never hurts. Never hurts. And Cara the Kerry now from Bedford, New York, the Trelawney Farms Little Magic, gelding by Backgammon. Cara saw a little bit earlier in the 2-star as well. Combination that were competing down in Traverse City in July, not part of the big team competitions there, but also another one that's been placed in Lexington so far this season. That was 4th with Cedric and that other ride of hers in Lexington back in June.
She doesn't look like she's going to have any trouble with the time allowed,
No,
Stephen.
exactly.
Again, different horses, different types. This one has a little bit of a shorter stride, so
Yeah.
she does have to move it up a notch to keep the time allowed in her mind.
Be okay for time. Going on to the second phase for Cara.
I knew that rail was going to catch somebody behind at
I was
some
gonna
point,
say,
just the way it's put there.
Yeah.
It's just asking for you to hit it with your back legs.
Going to finish on the 4 there for Cara Kerry and Little Magic this time. 41.45 for them. Drops her into 6th place at the moment. Kat Tyree, Adrian Sternix, Matt Cohn making up the top 3 in our class here. But again, as I say, another good chance to see what we're going to be getting a little show off for the 5 stars later on into the week as well. Get those in full force coming up with our next class as well, with that $75,000 class. Let's remind you what's coming up over the next few days. Tomorrow afternoon, I think we're aiming 3 o'clock with a 2-star $37,000 class, 5 o'clock similar time table with a 5-star class for $37,000 as well, and then into tomorrow evening with the Major League Jumping Team competition as well.
What an exciting day tomorrow is going to be. Lots of prize money on the line and lots of just top-class jumping.
Yep, looking forward to all of that. Andrew Bowens and Doug Keto, winning combination earlier on this season, owned by the Bowens family, and by Dinzeo for Andrew, based down in Wellington, Florida. Really nice type as well that I've seen go well so far this season, and last as well, Nancy. Be interested to see what you make of it.
Yeah, I quite like this horse, and I have to say I like his C-top blue horse that
Yes.
we're going to see a bit later. That's when I saw him earlier in the week, I said I'd be taking that one home when he left, and I know he's very high on both these horses.
Yeah.
Just easy over everything.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to continue. Great jump through that double.
No, I think he might be saying, I think we're going the long way around. We'll see.
Yeah.
No, we're not. Keep me guessing. Yep, tip of the hat. Again, just putting another couple of fences under the belt.
Yeah, nice to get through that double, and they can always be tricky, especially when they turn into triples. So you want to make sure your double part's good. And once again, Andrew, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. A lady knows exactly what she's doing is Margie Engel now from Miami, Florida. Although I don't think she's had much chance to get there this season. She's been very busy. She's been in Traverse City. She won Grand Prix there in the last few weeks as well. She was winning away for Margie as usual. Last year walking away with 2 Grand Prix there as well. Cessna M for Virginia Bartolome. And by check-in 2, the 9-year-old for Margie.
Yeah, when I was out walking the course, Margie was out there. She said, I never see you anymore. I think 'cause you're never around.
Keep going north.
Yeah, she's got a lot of air miles. And this is a younger, newer horse for her that she's been bringing along.
Yeah.
You'll notice it's got a bit of a black mask on, and they're actually called calming masks. And I've become a little bit of a fan. I use one on one of my horses, and I honestly think that maybe it's mind over matter, but I think they help a little bit.
Just keep
levels them out a little bit.
Yeah.
I always say it's like those thunder shirts that they have for dogs.
Okay.
They go on quite snugly, and they're like giving them a little hug.
And it just keeps the calm. I think I might need one. I think is the.
I've been trying to devise how I could put that one on my head several times. So when I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Little touch there at 8 million to carry on.
Margie, she has her own style, but it's a winning style. Has ridden with more injuries than any 5 people put together. She just keeps on ticking. What a gal.
Amazing. Going for a run at the last.
Oh, she saw that a long way out, and it worked.
It certainly did. So Margie Engel and Cessna M going into second place so far. 34-32 for Margie. Still Catherine Tyree keeping the lead with Newton on 31.85. Adrian Sterlick's in third with Lafayette Van Overus. But again, you know, for her, a spin around that second phase course, I mean, just again giving the horse a nice education for the week.
Yeah, and it is one of her younger mounts, I think, and yeah, just gaining experience.
Because you need to keep doing those as well.
Oh, for sure.
So Lauren Huff, Paloma. Lauren Huff, the horse owned by Kathleen Kamine. Lauren based down in Wellington, Florida. And the mare by Canalettos for Lauren. Been with her a little while now, also as part of her lineup for the Major League Jumping down in Traverse City as well. And for Lauren, been a partnership for a little while now.
You might notice she has a little red ribbon in her tail, and that's usually kind of a brake light. You need to stay away from one if you see it with a red ribbon, and it's always kind of amusing to me that a lot of them are mares. They just want their own space.
I'm saying nothing.
Ah, wise man. A wise man. Major League Oxer, not causing a problem. Beautiful jump. Love all those colors.
Now heading for the completion of that first phase. We'll see. Sure whether she's going to. Yeah, she is going to go on to phase 2.
I was going to say that was a letter perfect round, but she's going to just keep at it. And Stephen, as you know well, these riders know their horses. They know some of them. That's all they need is a pop around 8 fences. Other ones maybe need to dispel some of their energy, and they can do that by jumping. And well, this horse has just been completely rub-free the whole course.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Very nicely done from Lauren Huff to go into third place so far at 36.21. Lauren in third with Paloma, Kat Tyree leading, Margie Engel in second, Lauren Huff in third. As you say, ticks all the boxes. Very nicely done there for Lauren Huff. And moving on to Chandler Meadows now. Chandler with Zamia 3. The Holsteiner mare by Lanyu, and Chandler also part of the Major League Jumping teams too, alongside those teams with, of course, Lauren Huff as well. He's also been training Chandler Meadows from Newport Beach, California.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood for show jumping, Stephen. It couldn't be better. Absolutely. Great riders, great horses.
Last of the sunshine coming out now. Of course, our next class, we're going to be under the lights, I think, for that one.
Lots of air over that jump. A little bit of a rub there, but stayed up.
Went well with his combination down in Lexington back in June of this year.
Well, maybe a little peek at the Liverpool. Stephen, this double that she just did is making me feel like fall with all those fall colors and the autumn leaves.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Say it ain't so.
I'm not sure what I'm going to call it now. I've come north. Do I call it fall or do I call it autumn?
I think either one's acceptable.
Either one's acceptable.
Either one's accepted.
Excellent. There we go, nicely put together rounds, and we'll finish on 40.23 for Chandler Meadows. Sets her up for the week, and one of the riders who's getting more experience into the 5-star now, coming into those for the first time this year as part of the Major League Jumping, and that puts a nice round together for Chandler going into 7th place.
Way through the timer there, that was a Zambia 3. Currently 7th place position, 40.23.
Moving us back to Canada now, and Nikki Walker from Aurora, Ontario, Deux de Trembel. Chestnut Self-Français gelding by Nick de Defroret.
This is a new mount for Nikki. She's just had it since the spring, and I think she did a tour in Lexington in the spring and did some, actually even I think some junior amateur and some meter 40 classes there. Interesting point about this horse, so he travels with a little buddy. He has a little miniature pony.
Yes.
That goes everywhere with them. It gets its own stall at the horse show. It gets its own stall in the shipping van. And they are just inseparable, those two. Wow, that was impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, as you say, we're competing down in Lexington earlier on this year. In fact, it was last year that was competed by British rider Ashley Harrison previously. Started out in France.
Nikki, coached by Irishman Cian O'Connor, keeps tabs on her. I'm really liking what I see today with this combination. I saw them a few weeks ago, and I think she just hadn't done very much with it, and it was just a little bit rough and ready, but wow, she's done some homework because she's got things smoothed right out.
Yeah.
Seeing the scope coming through, just kicking those back. That was a good inside turn.
Yeah, taking on this slicing of the turn there nicely.
I think if you can do it smoothly like that and keep the motion going, you're fine, but if you have to break up the forward movement, it's not worth it.
This is not going to be far away for Nikki Walker and it is going to be 33.53 into second place for Nikki Walker there. So Canada in second, Catherine Tyree still leading on 31.85. 33.53 from Nikki to go into second. And Margie Engel in third with Sestra. As you say, it looks a nice, polished, more polished performance there.
Very much so. I just was a bit... we were talking earlier about following horses along, and I thought, it's not really Nikki's type of horse, but now I look at it today, and
yep.
As I say, she's done a huge amount of work in the last few weeks. It's terrific.
Now to Israel's Daniel Blumen and the Blue Star Investments and over-the-top stables, Uberlook. 9-year-old combination now, went very impressively last year as an 8-year-old, and this is certainly one to look out for as well. Daniel with a brilliant finish earlier on this season with Gemma W in the
goodness.
Grand Prix, but yeah, I think you might like this one.
Oh my.
I've seen this one a few times now. I'm going to sit back and let you talk about this one.
Wow, I think I might be speechless, which is really something, but oh my goodness. Yeah, this is amazing. Daniel, of course, a top rider, had a little bit of tough luck regarding the Olympics.
Yeah.
Not being able to attend just by a sort of a paperwork flaw, which was pretty disappointing.
I think the eyes on Paris 2024 already now, with and this looking a potential contender there.
I would say so, right in front of us. These are the ones that you really don't want to make a mistake on. You want to just keep going forward, and that'll be in your sights. Wow. Nice.
Yeah. Daniel going to be on the one-time foot. I think he was pulling up anyway there. 60.32. Nicely around. One to take home. There, Uberluck. Note that in your books.
I would be duly noted, I think.
What a big jumper that one is. I love that horse.
So Daniel Blumen, completion of his round as he just takes a gentle walk out, and we see just as the shadows lengthen, Christian Heineking from Dallas, Texas, the German rider with NKH LLC's NKH Shiloh. Yeah, Hanoverian mare. Of course, he's been back in action. He was out of action for a while, unfortunately with injury, but that followed on from a Grand Prix win. That was in Columbus, Ohio last year with Cento Blue, and now back in the running after that break in the middle of this year. Unfortunately a literal one, as then he's been back in action at the Major League Jumping back in Traverse City.
And how many million-dollar classes has he won for a while there? It would just seem to be one after another. I think it's 2 or 3, isn't it?
So I'm a little bit behind on that one.
I think he has.
It's been very good contenders in those.
Fabulous hind end on this horse.
Yeah. And just going out on the 4 there for Christian Heineking. And NKH Shiloh, 9-year-old combination, and yeah, again, a newer one for them into the international stage, but just the one rail at 3.
Yeah, and a great place to start them and learn their craft.
Yeah, absolutely. Horse that was competing with Mexican rider before that, Mark Bettinger of Germany, who's been behind the production of a number of top horses, came into the reckoning of that horse's production too. Leaves us a couple left to go, one for Canada, one for the USA. And at the moment, still Catherine Tyree leading this opening class. Remember our later class coming up for you as well. $75,000 jump-off class later on into the evening. Looking forward to that, 8 o'clock tonight for that. And there, Jacqueline Steffens coming into view. Team Eye Candies and her own Freaky. Simple as that. Gelding by Darko.
Jacqueline's had this horse for a few years.
Yes.
She came up through the actual junior amateur ranks here in Canada, worked for a few years for Hugh Graham. And Mark Hayes has helped her out quite a bit. She rode horses for him, and then, yep, they went south down to the States. And she's just in a great position now. Her riding has just come forward leaps and bounds.
Yes.
I've watched her for so many years. She had a great opportunity. She took it, and she's done well with it.
Absolutely. Jacqueline Steffen's part of the Eye Candy team as well, of course, for the Major League Jumping. They're the team that lead the championship at the moment on 18 points. Nearest team behind them on 11 points. This was recently coming under the ownership of Eye Candy. Same one that she's produced through.
And he was a horse that wasn't particularly easy either, Stephen.
Yeah.
I know there were a few times there where there were some rough edges, and she did get a lot of help from Mark Hayes, and it hasn't been a quick process with this horse, but she sure has him where she wants him now. He looks terrific. Her sister as well showed in the amateurs for many years here.
And we'll see what she's going to know. I think she's... No. Going to go on to the second phase. Oh, now we're going to say it. Thank you. Gives a little wave there and deciding to retire.
They're just trying to trip us up, I think,
exactly,
aren't
just
they?
a couple more fences. Do we like? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Now, Catherine Tyree will stay in the lead with one to come here at Angelstone. And you can quite literally say saving the best till last is McLean Ward from Brewster, New York. Winmont and his own Blossom Z by Balou de Roy. And lovely to have McLean back. Hotfoot, of course, from Tokyo. That's silver medal for the team, adding to his list of medals as well. He's got quite a few golds too from World Championship holder on the Team World Championship. And of course, coming up next year to defend that. We're already looking forward to the Sweden, maybe USA battle again resuming in Denmark. But in the meantime, lots of jumping to come. And Blossom Z also one that was in the placings down in Wellington this year.
Yeah, and can we talk about that clutch ride of McLean's in Tokyo? That was
an impressive performance.
An impressive performance, but so typical of him. He's as cool as they come. He was telling me that during the first round and the second round of the Olympics, Lauren had put some cartoons on for his daughter, and he said, well, what are you doing watching cartoons? She said, Dad, I just had to decompress. I thought that was the best.
Oh dear. Love it. Well, nicely around here so far, McLean. Love to see him a part of the 5-star weeks here in Angelstone.
Oh, it's terrific to see him here again. Another rider we see at the Royal Wooded Fair. I don't think he knew Canada had warm weather, but we're welcoming him.
Absolutely. Well, a warm welcome and an early bedtime there for that horse, Blossom Z. Just finishing their round off. Of course, we'll see him later on as well into an 8 o'clock class, $75,000 class on that occasion. McLean Ward, Blossom Z completing their work for the day. Catherine Tyree completes her work in this opening international class, as well as she finishes our winner with Newton on 31.85. It is Nikki Walker of Canada in second with Toute Trambel. Alice is into third. Margie Goldstengel, Cessna M. Fourth, Lauren Huff and Paloma. Fifth to Adrian Sterling, Lafayette Volovers, and Matt Cohn of Canada in sixth. Canada again in seventh with Amy Miller, and eighth to Chandler Mellows and Zamia 3. Some nice combinations to see there, Nancy, but I know we're really going to be getting our teeth into the last class of the day.
Oh, we haven't seen the best of them yet, that's for sure. And what we have seen has been terrific. That horse at Daniel Blumen's, I'm still thinking about it. So I can't wait to see it in some further classes. Be really exciting.
Perfect. Looking forward to that a little later on. As you can see from our final lineup there, Catherine Tyree is your winner. The USA are going to raise the flag in the first of 5-star classes of the week, but I think it is Battle Royal coming up a little bit later on with our $75,000 class to conclude the day. As I say, 8 o'clock for that. It's a little bit of a break and a breather, and chance for everybody to settle down for the evening entertainment.
And we've got our winners coming into the winner's circle, accompanied by Sheila Johnstone. This is your winner of the first CSI 5-star class here, held in Eastern Canada. History was made today. The winner is going to be awarded to Newton Van Het Krekelhoff and Catherine Tyree. Great round here, double clear at 31.85. To get it done by a fair margin. 2 seconds faster than our next best competitor. Congratulations to Catherine Tyree. All right. And in second place from Canada, this is Nicole Walker, running her new horse. Congratulations, Nicole. Going here. Great time as well. 33.53 on the clock there. A couple seconds off the pace, but enough for second. And third place honors goes to a lady that we've waited for 10 years to see here in Englishtown. We're so happy she decided to come up and compete with us. She is Margie Goldstein Engel, great competitor indeed, and Cessna, and third place position on her side. All right, ladies. If you would do us an honor with a quick lap around the Englishtown Grand Prix Stadium here for a quick victory gallop on these are your winners, 1, 2, and 3, Catherine Tyree, Nicole Walker, and Margie Goldstein Engel. Fifth place honor is going to
Adrian Sterlicht. Adrian was riding Lafayette Van Overis. 6th place honors was Concouleur and Matt Cohn. 7th place award going to Cristiano and Amy Miller. And rounding us out in 8th was Chandler Meadows and Zamia 3. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we will get set. We'll see you at 8 o'clock. 2 hours to go here under the lights. It's